Hello, good morning to one and all. Today I'm going to share about the journey of Kundalini process, how it really impacts in our day-to-day life uh, for that particular individual who is going through this process, and how his or her physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level are uh, going in such a drastic way which he or she never imagined that it is going to be like that. It is not a process of difficulty, it's a process of challenging, at the same time very beautiful. But that beautiful moment you can only realize once you overcome that moment, overcome that process. Until unless you feel as if nobody is standing for you, everybody has their own standpoint in that context. Because I know when I was going through this spiritual journey in my initial stage, you can say it was horrible, such a horrible condition. It is not that people can't understand you, it is that when you started to question to yourself, your existential crisis is a question mark. It's not about that nobody wants to talk with you, it's about you don't want to talk with anyone because your energy level, your way of thinking, your food pattern, everything changes all of a sudden. You don't know what is going on, and for knowing what is the exactly happening with you, it takes so many months, so many times, or so many years. For me it was almost 4 years. It was not that easy. Earlier my life was so ups and down, it was full of ups and down, because my astrological chart, if I'll talk about the Rahu Mahadasa, which has been started in 2010, and it will continue further till 2028. So the journey will be more difficult, more challenging, that I know. But before the pre Kundalini journey, that was almost 4 years, I can say. It was very challenging for my career. My research work has been a question mark for everybody, because all of a sudden my performance, everything was like unexpectedly a question mark for everybody. And I was very silent that moment, because I was very much sure that something is happening, but I don't know what is happening. That I don't know, it's always inside my my mind. And that thing I realized later part of my spiritual journey, particularly you can say around 2019 or 20 onwards. 2020 onwards, I realized that something is literally going on, and that something it's not easy for me to handle. Then in 2020 my journey took me in a very intense way. Highly, it was a very intensity which was unexpected for me to handle. That was the moment when my friends, my colleagues, my professors, my relatives, my so-called family members, also even my parents, my sibling, everybody was asking me, what the hell is going with you? Why can't you talk? Is there any mental issue you have? Just go and consult a psychiatrist. I was so silent because I know what is going on with me, but I was unable to handle that energy. And I realized somewhat that no, it's the time for me only. It is me time where I have to go through this transformation, and this transformation is not easy. That I realized. And being a poet, I love to write the poems, and then I started to writing the poems. I started to do journaling, everything I did. My healing work was going so intense way, whether it's like morning work, evening work, whether it's worshiping to the god, chanting different kinds of mantra chanting, doing exercise, yoga, dancing. Though these things I have been doing till now, but still that was the moment. It was so intense, it was doubled. You can say everything was continuously going on, going on, whole day night. I was sleeping, not sleeping, it doesn't matter for me. My body was not reacting, my body was not interested to eat anything. Sometimes I was feeling so hungry, sometimes I don't feel hungry at all. Sometimes I sleep like continuously 24-36 hours non-stop. Sometimes I don't feel to sleep at all. Every day I get up around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. One night I was just reading all the spiritual books, writing all the knowledge about the spirituality, without holding any kind of a religious practices. I was exploring so many things. Though earlier I had been like studied so many other books like motivational, inspirational, spiritual, religious, theology, philosophy, psychology, all these were like already there, but still my mind was not satisfied. My mind was always looking for something new, something fresh, something more and more. So for knowing that more and more and more, I was like continuously exploring. That was the time when my whole family members were really so upset because my behavior was drastically changed. I was reacting suddenly in a very kind of nonsense, you can say. But it was the time when I was realizing, when I was experiencing the goddess Kali's power within me. I literally crying day and night. Literally that moment I never ever can forget. I was crying. I was telling to God, why it's me only? Why it's me only? I try to kill myself for all these things, but every time there is something which was telling to me, no, you can't do it because you have so much interest to work for the children. It is your wish to do. That was my childhood interest to work for the orphan. But later on, when I was in the Kundalini process, I realized that my soul mission is something else. So of course I'm going to do something for the orphan. That is my childhood dream. But my soul mission, when I realize, I understand that it is totally different from my career. And then I started to ask to the universe, why this soul mission which is really different. I have no idea about that soul mission, and neither I have any single clue. So what can I do? So then I started to ask lots of questions, and that was the time when my third eye was already activated and opened, and I got a lot of channeling messages and information from the universe. And then universe was trying to tell me, don't worry, you just focus on your spiritual practices and other stuff here means the healing practices, your creative stuff. Focus on the meditation, and I'm there for you. First of all, you have to go through this Kundalini Awakening fully, and then we'll be there with you. Then I was so much busy. My mother was scolding me a lot because I was not focusing on my study. My parents, my sibling, they were so much upset. They thought that I'm total mad. I'm a mad girl, and I have to consult with a psychiatrist or maybe something else. But I was so much pain. I was unable to express my pain with anybody. I was just doing the recording, doing the writing so that I can express myself. I was crying literally, like when everybody went for the sleep, and when they were like in busy in their own work, and everybody when everybody was sleeping, I was asking to myself that God, it's really painful, it's not easy for me, it's 4 years. Can you imagine what kind of mindset I have now, when everyone is poking me, scolding me, abusing me, talking very negative towards me? How could I manage my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level were going just like a roller coaster? That was the time when I was going through a hermit mode, and I just only praying every single moment. Though I was a very spiritual person earlier, but that spiritual person which today, if I'll ask to myself, then it was not the same person when I was before 4 years. I'm so much matured in my understanding, in my mindset, in my thought process. I had gone through so much intense this ascension, you can say that the transformation, where Kundalini was not easy, because I was not going to consult nor guided by any physical guru, because from my childhood onwards I was always asking to myself rather than asking to others, because no matter how much information I can collect from others, still somewhat I was not satisfied. So that same thing or same pattern has been going on until now also. And when I was in that process of Kundalini, I asked to myself that who will be my guru, because lots of questions were coming to me, and I don't know how to handle, how to get the information. And then slowly I start to ask this thing, and then later on I asked to the universe that I don't need any physical guru, because I know that what is going exactly with me. And from today onwards, I pretty remember in October month in 2020, I told to the universe that no matter what, today onwards you will be my guru for the spiritual process. And whatever the test, whatever the stuff you will give me, I'll do it, no matter how much pain it will be difficult for me, but I can do it. So I started to surrender. I started to share each and everything to the universe. And then it took me like almost 6 to 8 months, throughout this upward movement of my Kundalini, where my chakras are started to activate and then open, and then my Kundalini energy from root chakra to crown chakra has been leveled up every single month. It took me very difficult to divert all the energy in a right direction, but somewhat I tried my best. And then my upward movement of the Kundalini energy has been settled down in a proper way. Finally, I was so happy that lots of beautiful aesthetic experience, which was really so awesome, like to experience. At the same time, you feel as if God is already sitting near to you and listening everything. So that moment, that feelings is really awesome. And then I started to pray myself that no matter what, now I have to control this energy for a proper way, so that I can start my Kundalini energy in the downward movement, so that the cycle can be a regular cycle, and I can control myself. At the same time, this energy can move in a very proper way without any hindrance or problem or issues. And then my crown chakra to third eye, and then third eye the throat chakra, it took again almost I can say 6 months. And now the things are very in a very smooth way. My Kundalini Shakti is moving throughout my upward and downward movement. So it is a good thing for me that now my Kundalini energy is going to balance. So that's a beautiful journey, I can say, altogether. No matter what, I can only suggest to all of you who are going to listen this video, if you are going through either any spiritual journey or twin flame connection or Kundalini Awakening, please have a faith, trust, and believe to yourself and believe to the divinity. And the test will be so hard, test will be so difficult, because this is a journey of testing to yourself, that how much patience you have, how much tolerance you have. And then you can understand this Kundalini energy is really so awesome and beautiful. And this beautiful journey is only feasible when you are ready for that. Once you accept, then everything will go with the flow. Yes, of course, in between you try your best to break that flow sometimes, because you think that maybe I'm in a delusion or hallucination. For understanding this illusion process, whether I'm in a matrix or not, you try sometimes to break. I generally do, or I did also during that process. And just trust and go with the flow. And the rest of the videos I'm going to share about my journey, about the Kundalini, about the chakras, all the sign and symptoms, everything in details way, so that it can also helpful to all of you if you are going through this kind of process. I hope today's video can helpful for helpful for your spiritual journey in a very general way, because we have a different body, so our physical symptom can be differ, but almost I can say that some sort of similar symptom you can find out. So I just pray to all of you, have faith and trust to yourself, trust to the universe or the divinity, or the so-called your energy, whatever you are believing particular on that energy itself. Stay happy and blessed, because this is a journey of divinity. This is a journey of knowing to oneself. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.